situations happen. Tell me how you feel about it. Let's talk about it. Topics of discussion. Tell me what's your view. And let's talk about it. We gon' rock the truth. Or absolutely nothing. Rock truth. Conversations fuel the mind. They current and they right on time.
Grand Day Royals, grand day, grand day, grand day, grand day, and welcome to Rock Truth Radio. I am your host, at least one of your hosts, SelenaKay. I am here with my co-host, Jeff Releford.
Thank you. What's up?
And we welcome you to Rock Truth with us, or absolutely nothing at all. Yes. We live in a society today where truth before your very eyes is being questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a person's ideology of God's original intent for the kingdom and for mankind. Yo, let's get right on in here. We do have sponsors. Shout out to Healthy in Space. Healthy in Space. They are open Monday through Saturday from 6 p.m. to, I always do that. I don't know why, but you know what though? Let me tell you why I do that.
Why you do that?
I'm telling you, I'm always in anything in life, I'm already at the end. That's so problematic. It's so problematic.
You got to start from the beginning, girl.
Listen, the beginning is when you gave me the word. I'm already what? Yeah, don't hand me a baton. I'm at the end of the race, baby. I take it, I grow. You hear me? So we're gonna try that one more time. Monday through Saturday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Man, get your herbs, get your sea moss, get your tinctures, get your skincare, vitamins, and so much more. They are located on 6004 Broadway in Maryville, Indiana. Shout out to Deontay Glover, Black-owned businessman support. You guys are in Lake County. You guys are in Gary and vicinity, man. Hey, go to Maryville. Go support this Black-owned business, man. This Black-owned business is helping us with our health, which is our wealth. Okay. They also have daily savings, Men's Health Mondays, get 10% off. Men Health Mondays, Tea Time Tuesdays, Women's Health Wednesdays, Tinctures and Tonics on Thursdays, Free Radical Fridays, Skincare Saturdays. Queens, get your skin in care. You hear me? Because the summertime is on. That summer body should be currently loading. Do you hear me? You know, we got to be out here all shea butter, baby. Come on now. I don't want to go too far into it. Yeah, with them pillows. Yeah, we need to be doing that. I just got some shout out to Rod from Vietnam. I heard he went to the event. I just got some shea butter called Pillow Talk. Baby.
Baby.
It's
the bomb, man.
Okay. Go to Healthy in Space and mention SelenaKay. Mention Rock Truth Radio. Mention Rock Truth, anything. And get an additional 10% off of any product in the store. Tell them SelenaKay sent you. They have vitamin C, elderberry, zinc, black seed oil, sea moss, like I said before, which is imperative, guys, because we're not getting all the nutrients we need in the food that we eat daily for functionality. You got your gold seal, your turmeric, and so much more, man. Shout out to It's a Vibe.
Hey.
It's a vibe. Hey. Yo, shout out to the Vibe. Yo, hey, we in the Vibe studios currently. Yo, shout out to the Vibe, which is including myself as well as VNO. What you know?
Yes.
Ron Reed, my co-host, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, Life Coach Jeff, and then Smooch Wallace. Who is Smooch Wallace? Who is Smooch Wallace?
Smooch
You
Wallace?
should want to know. Check out IG and find out completely. You hear me? Find out. You want to know. Guys, we also have an event that is coming up. We'll go ahead and play the ad for it real quick.
Calling all shoppers, foodies, and music lovers. Delicious Designs is hosting an amazing spring fling in the G Vendor Showcase on Saturday, April 20th from 12 until 6 p.m. Come on out to 3637 Grand Street in Gary to support local businesses and experience a day of fun and excitement with music by DJ Flex Luger. Hosted by RockTruthRadio. Sponsored by Big Time Clothing. Saturday, April 20th at the G Vendor Showcase, 3637 Grand Street in Gary. Presented by Delicious Designs. Come on out for a day of fun and excitement.
Yo, shout out to D with Delicious Designs. Hey, I can already tell that it was Al Greer that did that ad. You can hear his voice.
Yeah.
His voice is so distinct.
So distinct.
You can hear that voice anywhere, which is, you know what? Shout out to Al Greer, who is my mentor, my radio mentor.
Yes.
We are on WOSD radio currently in 19 cities in 2 countries.
Ooh.
And then like the report is showing that, you know, there are other countries that are listening in. Shout out to France. I pay more attention to France because I actually like Paris. I want to go there one day. And so shout out to France for tuning in. You know what I mean? But we are in 19 cities and 2 countries. My king, let me just
talk to me.
How you, King?
I am good.
Yeah.
I am good.
Yeah.
You know, just going through them new transitions.
You
know, I'm going through new
Talk
transition
about
guys, you know, different job and everything like that. It's great. I like it. It's something getting used to.
Yeah.
You know, your boy ain't used to working days all the time. Used to working that swing shift.
Yeah, man.
So getting used to back on days and having that time. Girl, I told you I was out cold yesterday.
I'm already knowing.
She called me. Your boy was done. Do you hear me? Your boy was just done. So, but other than that, girl, I'm good. I'm great. Life is great.
No, that's what's up. That's what it needs to be. Shout out to the Landscaping Looch in the building. Look, we definitely got to get you here, get you booked, get you on. Yo,
Yes,
that's
sir.
a whole king.
Yes.
That's a whole king to learn from, man. I love folks that are not just book smart, street smart. You know what I mean?
Yes.
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 You got to know like how to apply things in life. The theory, it always hold true, but
Come on.
the acid test to the theory is applying it in life where there are variables that you can't change.
Fact.
Okay.
Fact.
Shout out to your Landscaping Luch rocking with us in this AM, this grand AM, grand anew. Drop comments. Let me know you here. Let us know you're here,
Let us
guys.
know you're around.
Yeah, no, say what's up. Don't just be rude. Don't just scroll past. Say what's up. Who raised you? Say what's up. Like, don't just do us like that. Yo, in the building. Yo, so today we are talking about relationships.
Yes.
This week, our second week in the month, we'll always focus on RockSingle. And that's mastering singleness, becoming a whole, one complete person that you can offer as a product to another.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
so this subject for today is his or God's idea for relationship versus our imaginations. Versus our imagination.
Okay.
Listen, do you hear me? So much learning, even with all of the wisdom that has been bestowed on me. I am still a learner in this.
Oh, yeah.
I am still a learner in this, and I appreciate it. I now understand the effect and effect that Walt Disney has had on me.
All right.
Oh, Walt.
Mr. Walt.
Oh, Walt. He has done a work on me. I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking around on those. What's the word again? There we go. Feet. Yeah, no, he has done a work on me. And I'm just grateful that all of the imaginations, all the things that I imagine regarding a relationship is being washed away. It's being thrown in the garbage. Like you cannot carry any of this into a relationship with another fantasy. Of the relationship. We were talking before, not some of those things that you hold true, to love, but there are some stuff that we conjure up.
Yes, all the time.
All
Put
the time,
away.
King.
All the time.
All the time, King.
All the time. And the thing is, since we conjure up these things, the issue is, people, is that we all want our perception of good to come forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we always want. But the big thing we have to learn how to deal with is that what happens when that good doesn't present itself in front of you? How do you respond and react to that? It's so many different ways and so many different things that we can respond to, so many different ways we can respond.
No, seriously.
But that's the true test.
Yeah.
The true test is, okay, everything is all happy, nice, and good and fun in the beginning.
Oh.
Because we all trying to have fun. We trying to get to know each other. What are we doing? We changing venues. We switching lanes. We doing all this stuff.
Come on now.
And it's pleasurable for us.
Yeah.
But what do you do, and how are you supposed to react in those unpleasurable moments?
Man, that's it. React versus responding. Shout out to Doris. Hey, Doris, boo, I miss you.
Doris?
Gotta book you too for the show. Yo, I love me some Doris, man, because she love her some me. And it was like day one. Yo, relationship is amazing. The vibe of other people, the spirits that other people have, and they have this infection on you, especially when it's positive. I love you, sis. Thank you for tuning in. But I totally agree. And that's it. That's the maker. When you how are you going to react? And reactions are usually in the flesh, not in the spirit. They're usually immature decision making. How are you going to react versus how you're going to respond? Respond comes with self-control.
Say that
you know what I mean?
so
Respond comes with self-control. King, I think that camera has grown out.
Okay.
But respond comes with self-control. And so it's being in a relationship with someone. Yeah, you grin. Being in a relationship with someone is going to expose your hand. It's not necessarily exposing them. It's not going to expose them. It is designed to expose you. I was actually looking at a clip someone sent me on IG. Shout out to my to Doc Ock. We are in a real relationship. Listen to me. We go back and forth. And she sent me one that was talking about, the other person is a mirror reflection of who you are.
Ooh.
And it's true. It's true. It is not to pinpoint the other person. This is to say, hey, look at you. Look at you. Look at how you act. Look at how you behave. Look at how you react versus how you respond. Look at how you're still child-minded. You're still child-minded. You're still child-minded. You still are chasing after the imaginations of your own heart. And so one thing about relationship, let's start from the beginning. One thing about relationship, it starts with a coach in the gym.
Yes.
It starts with a coach in the gym, and your coach is God. You're practicing how to love other people via your relationship with God. He teaches devotion.
Yeah.
And I want to make that very clear. This one thing I do, devotion is this one thing that I do. He teaches devotion simply because, again, those other principles reign true. A double-minded man cannot be trusted. You can never serve two. Even before you get to masters, you can never serve two. And so devotion is what he teaches. How can you and him be down? Or up.
That's true.
Or upright, right?
I hear you.
It starts there, but then you cannot truly, and you get those fundamentals there. You're always practicing the fundamentals. You can practice different change-ups and, style in a sense to your loving, but what you cannot predict and cannot control is being in the game, in the arena with another person. That's where you're going to be exposed. That's where your weaknesses and your strengths are going to be exposed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's something I'm learning too. Shouts out to my wife because we're going through this thing together.
Megs!
Shout out to Megan.
Megs!
Because we've been going through a period of transition in terms of I guess what it is it's learning each other.
Yeah.
As you said earlier, as you learn yourself,
Yeah.
I know we said earlier, if you know yourself, that's what makes it even better, because that means you know who you are. You could be true from start to finish.
Right.
So now you're giving that person the chance to see if they can adapt or handle you
or adjust.
I like that, adjust. Because that she's very true when she says that. We do have to make the proper adjustments depending on the person that we're with. You know, and we know that since everything isn't going to be perfect, we're not looking for perfect.
No.
We're not looking for fairy tale Disney. We're not looking for what Walt did.
We're not
looking for what Walt did, people. Okay. But what we're looking for is just a lot of things we have to realize and understand they're normal.
Yeah.
Our feelings, our reactions, the way we look at things. We have to learn to make the proper adjustments when we're with that person.
Yeah.
Because it's not always going to be great.
Yeah.
We have to, like I told you before, one big thing was, remember we talked about focusing on that good.
Yeah.
So if you have the good to look at with somebody, and I think women, and I want to say this more so to the ladies, because a lot of times, and I'm just saying that, correct my language if I'm wrong, because I don't want to get killed on the show.
No, we ain't coming for your head, King.
But it's more like for the ladies, you know, sometimes with trust, when you trust in a man, sometimes you don't know the direction, but you have to focus on the good that he is established already. And you have to hold on that while you're moving and while you go. If you're saying you want a leader, right? If you're saying you want a leader, if you're saying you want a protector, if you're saying you want somebody to guide you along the way, I'm not saying being a baby and always have the map laid out for you personally.
Yeah.
But if you're following that man in terms of the relationship and the direction of the relationship, sometimes you got to trust God going through him as he's trusting the one up above, you know, and it's hard because you see it, but hold on to that good that's established in a relationship. Because I tell you what a therapist told us, and then I'm gonna finish that up.
No problem.
What a therapist told me and my wife was that when she started to look at something, she was like, man, we made so much progress. The therapist said, remember, you having a setback is normal, but when the good was going on, that shows that you are capable.
I love that.
You are capable of showing that love and that kindness.
I love that. Especially the trust part. The trust part is imperative, and I'm grand that, you know, it came out when you were discussing because one, none of us can be trusted.
Facts.
That's the thing. That's the thing to truly know here. Okay,
you ain't lying.
Nobody can be trusted. That's Bible. That's God. Yeah. Nobody, including yourself, can be trusted. So throw out this whole I need to trust somebody. Not happening. Can you trust you? You don't even hold up to your own stuff. You fail you every single day. So if you can't even be trusted, how can you hold anybody else up to that form of a standard? But what you can trust is the character in another person. You can trust God's character in another person, the fruit of God's character. You can see love. You can see them having or possessing joy and peace and self-control. I have to stress that because self-control is the final one. Temperance is a final byproduct of the fruit of the spirit, and it displays and shows that you are under the possession of God. And so you look for these fruits. This is a fruit inspection. You look for these particular fruits in another that you can trust. That's consistent. Now, it's not to say that people aren't going to do things. People are going to do things. You do stuff every single day, but it's not about what people do. It is definitely about what people do after. And what we see a lot of the times is the same game being played from the fall, the blame one. The blame one. No ownership, no forms of accountability is being played. The cover story. You know, instead of standing there firm out, I'm naked out here. No, we're gonna go get some trees and we're gonna go get some stuff to cover ourselves. No, don't cover you. Because when you covering your front, you assed out. Your butt is out. Everybody can see you from the back. The trained eye, and it don't take much training to see you from behind. You know, it don't take much training to see, fam.
You better let them know.
Just your front. You're fronting.
You're fronting. There you go. I like that.
Shout out to DJ Quick. It ain't no future in your front. Was it DJ Quick? It ain't no future in your front. It never was, cuz. Okay, listen to me when I say. And so it's imperative to note that when you're trusting, trust the character of God in another person. And yes, everybody's going to do something, but what you do after is going to make or break not only yourself, but the relationship.
Yeah. So with that being said, question is this: do you feel that a lot of relationships today can be worked on and worked out rather than because we live in a culture now, you know how it go, girl. We live in a culture now where people are just so quick to just release somebody out of your life. Like, okay, I don't want to put up with this, I don't want to put up with that. But a lot of it is outside. Now let me say this, people, outside of an abusive relationship. Okay, now if somebody is beating on you, verbally coming down at you hard, those things I don't agree with. But if you're doing too much paying attention to how somebody is saying something, and if you're not trying to listen, these are normal things that people deal with. Yeah. So outside of being in a verbally or physically abusive, and I'm talking about a real, true, like verbal abusive relationship, because a lot of people say things that'll hurt you all the time. That necessarily doesn't mean that it's verbal abuse.
Listen, and then grow with that, because the word abuse, there are two words together. It's abnormal usage. If somebody is using you abnormally, not as the tool that you should be used as. A lot of people, like, they're locked out of a door, and instead of getting a crowbar, which is that tool is used to break something open, to get something through, they will go and get the back of a hammer. I'm sorry. That's not what that's not the tool that I was to be used for. So anytime you're being abnormally used, you need to grow. That's not what he's talking about. But go ahead, Ken.
It is. And I'm glad she put clarity on that, because that is exactly what I mean. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate
no problem,
that.
Kay. I got your back.
Appreciate that.
Now, do I believe that they can be worked on?
Yeah.
It is the battle of the wheels.
Okay.
It is
like
never going to be man versus woman. It is going to be the battle of the wheels, your wheel versus my wheel. Whether I'm going to bend or you going to bend and break. And, if you're willing, yes.
Okay.
Only if you're willing, yes. But let's talk about relationship first. There are stages to it.
Yeah.
Friendship is at the baseline of it all. Develop the relationship, develop the friendship first, because a lot of the stuff is worked out. It comes out in the wash, and it's worked out easy. It's worked out easy when this is your friend, and you never forget to be a friend. That's the key to life. Like, one thing especially with women, and we'll have, conversations with our girlfriends, right? We'll have conversations with our girlfriends, and we'll tell them such and such did something, right? Or we'll tell them what we've done.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And your girl will be like, oh my God, what happened? Like, what? Shut up. What you gonna do? Da, 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 da. This, that, and the other. But when it come to your dude saying, hey, I messed up, I did this, we like, why? What is it about me? And it's like, no, wait, hold on, wait. What happened to that same energy you had with your girl?
Oh.
I thought I was your friend too. I thought I should be able to come to you and say X, Y, and Z. I should be able to tell you any and everything. And you got to know how to change hats. You got to know how I got my friend hat on, man. Yeah. And you just sit there and just listen. And then you'll say, like, hey, yo, like, well, what you gonna do?
Yo, yeah.
Like, what you gonna do?
I feel you on that.
Same energy. So yes, I do believe that they can be worked on. I do believe that there is a starting point in relationship first and foremost. Okay. And you can't omit origin. And if in fact that you are in a relationship where you guys didn't start off as friends, it's okay. Start over. Start at the friendship point. If you desire to stay together, or separate and get to know you, master singleness, learn how to be a friend so that you can offer friendship on the table to other people and grow from there.
So don't leave or abandon a relationship, just separate for a little bit of time.
I'm sorry.
Get to know you. That what you mean? Do you mean separate from the relationship, still be with the person, or separate completely?
That's
because there's some people, because I'm just being honest. You know how I go out there, girl. The real life is a lot of people. We'll say that for not the boyfriend and girlfriend couples. We'll say that for the married couples. that struggle through things.
Okay, because you know, let's for 2 seconds though, we can just kind of like hone in on the boyfriend girlfriend. Listen, boyfriend just means that I'm a friend that's a boy. Girlfriend just means I'm a friend that's a girl. It does not mean that I own you, that I control you. It does not mean exclusive relationship.
Ooh,
there's no such thing as an exclusive relationship. This is part of Walt Disney programming. Okay, there's no such thing. There are marital statuses, and just because y'all exclusive don't mean that your marital status has changed. You are still single, and for reference point, you will always be a single, whole, one and complete individual. Now, with the marital status, if you are engaged, spouse, that's the only time that that anything changes.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you are in a relationship prior to being espoused or married, then you cannot utilize marital rules to your single situation. Marital rules to your single situation. They don't apply here. They don't apply here. And so understand this, because in that with relationship, what you're saying, or at least what I pick up, is if you still want to have sex.
Yeah.
Note to self that is nothing more than a verbal exchange. And I highly recommend people start getting receipts. And when I say that, literally, you have to give somebody a receipt so they know that this was an exchange of goods. I got what you got, what you gave, and you got what I gave. And it ain't nothing to it. There's nothing outside of that. We're equal. It ain't like, oh, okay, so now you owe me. No, I don't owe you anything. No, this was an even exchange. Marriage.
Yeah. And and let me tell y'all something. Because see, some of y'all, this conversation may be hard to stomach. So I want to let y'all know what we're at. The whole point of what this subject is about today is to share the truth and the reality of it, of what it really is. We're not talking about what society has deemed this and that, the third. We're not talking about that. Because the thing is, if we're going to relate it to the word is very cut and dry.
It is
straightforward. And I believe the biggest part of having these types of discussions and people trying to receive it on the other side is that they've never heard it from that biblical kingdom perspective.
Yeah, man.
And since that's not really being taught, I have no problem with saying it because it's not being taught. Because if it was being taught, more people would think this way or try to maneuver around these situations to be able to handle them a heck of a lot better.
Yes.
But that's not what's being taught. So what we're doing is we're just trying to shed some light from a different perspective for you.
Or his.
Because the thing is, when we start talking about what God is looking at and how God wants us to treat one another.
Yeah.
You know, from a friendship or even because that in between is a relationship level that we have created. That's what we've created. So
imagination.
So yes, imagination, because friendship is discussed in the Bible and it does talk about what a friend should do.
No.
But then the next two roles that are defined after that is husband and wife.
There you grow.
So friendship, husband, wife.
That's it.
If we focus on those three avenues, we will be okay. And that's what we're trying to shed light on. That's what Queen is actually explaining. So women, don't take offense to the words. If you want, just go back and look it up, read and study. And if you don't, that's on you.
Listen, and even in that, let's detail friendship.
Yeah.
Friendship does not mean that I have to be there for you or do things for you or kick it with you every single day.
That's it.
What friendship is that I tell you the truth every time.
Yes.
Every time you come to me with something or every time something arises, I tell you the truth. Period. Yeah. He says, what greater love is this? That you lay down your lie. I'll stop there. I know it's life, but you're laying down your lie for your friend. We don't have to lie to each other no more. We don't got to lie no more. We don't got to lie no more. I've been delivered. You don't have to lie no more. Yeah. You can tell the truth. You can be the truth. You can be open and honest with another person. That's what friendship is. All this other stuff, again, imagination can be fun. This is stuff that we're adding to it. It was never there.
And let's be real. The only reason why you will be willing to lay your life down for somebody is because you have been truthful to them.
That's it.
That's it. If the only reason why I'm willing to die for my wife or a friend is because I know that I have been truthful to them, and to an extent, I know they have been truthful to me.
Yeah.
whatever they chose to show me, that's what I believe is the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because things can change every day.
They can.
That's another thing, acceptance, people. You just have to accept what you see right in front of you sometimes. We got to stop trying to conjure up, once again, the Disney effect.
Yeah,
we got to stop trying
Disney
to
effect.
conjure up all these things that we want to be there or that we think are there. A lot of times what we have to do is we have to get information, we have to ask questions,
Yes.
and we have to trust that the person is at least being truthful. But hey, I'm telling you, I do agree with what she's saying. You know, lay down the lie, and it makes it easier to lay down your life.
No, absolutely.
Makes it a lot easier to do that.
I totally agree. And then again, coaching with the master, coaching with God. He provides us with unilateral love. Unilateral love. There's no conditions on this love. This type of love isn't whether you do it back to me.
Yeah.
Is it whether you give it back to me. That's not what this is about. This is about I show up for Mary's check. I show up for Mary's crown. I'm gonna love you without expectation. I have no expectation. That's it. I'm not forced to be in any form of a relationship with you. I don't have to even know you to extend unilateral love, you know. But understand this, it's not this you give, I give, and what you give. It's not 50-50, guys. It ain't 80-20. It's none of these. It's two people showing up 100, whole, one, and complete people to offer to God, to offer for the benefit of another person, you know. And we have strayed so far from that only because, again, the way in which the world turns, it's teaching us to go in opposition. And a lot of us are bitter and we're broken. And so guess what we do? We make up our own rules. About 2 years ago, we had RockSingle, our summer theme was Baywatch, because we was watching out for Bay, and one of the subjects in that series was board games people play, not like BOARD, but bored, BORED. You're bored. You're bored. Oh gosh, you're bored. You know, and this is what bored people do. And they come up with their own rules. And I don't care if you're playing Uno and both me and you agree with the fact that we're going to play stack 'em. We're going to make up our own rules. It still doesn't agree with the rules in which the manufacturer, the person who made up the game, it doesn't agree with his ruling.
Facts.
I don't care if you guys are in agreement.
Facts.
You're not in agreement with the maker.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it is, yo. You have to, with all of this that we have going on, we do have to see how all of this just stacks up and how it levels up. Because once again, the reason why we can't operate well in relationships is because we're imbalanced.
I love it.
We are just very imbalanced. With once again, we have to take it by definition. It's very funny how us as Christians, we are very, very hard when it starts coming to the life, the birth, the life, the death, and the resurrection of Christ. But when it comes to the actual principle building,
my king,
when it comes to the actual in-between work, you know, we all know the story about Christ.
Come on.
You know, we all know the story about that. We all know what it's here for, what it represents. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't focus on that. Focus on it because it has its importance too. So to add to it, we have to remember to take out those very key references and those key points of his life where he was teaching and where he was preaching and messages were being sent. And also outside of Christ, Paul is a big one to really get a lot of that perseverance from dealing with people and the perception, because being in jail, he wrote so many letters and he was talking to the people.
That's it.
He was talking to the people. He was sharing with it about his experience, what he learned, so he could give that back to the churches.
Yeah.
So we can give that back to the churches. So the thing is, we get caught up in Christ so much in trying to be so Christ-like that we forget that all the other principles surrounding that are a part of us being Christ-like.
That's it. No, seriously. Like if you look at anything he was ever talking about, it was about morality.
Yes.
It was about morality. You know, his life, his crucifixion, his death, his resurrection was all about changing time. It was about rerouting time back in the way in which it should be turning.
Yeah.
Okay. And so his whole principle, he says it, every law that anybody could ever come up with, but the laws that I've put in place, every single one of them is hinged up on love.
Yeah.
My principle and my theory of love. And that's all he's talking about. He's always been talking about how we treat each other.
Yeah.
How you treat your brother, how you are less forgiving, and especially in relationships, man, people will hold things. And this is the reason why we find ourselves stuck at the door, which is Christ.
How come?
They will hold things in that little bitty pocket. They waiting. It's almost like they've been holding that ace of spade and spades ready to I can't wait. I can't wait till he come out with that, because I know he got it in his hand, and as soon as he come out, and it's
definitely
it's not cool. Like it's not cool to be holding things. One, it becomes very weighty.
Yeah.
It becomes a weight upon
heavy on the heart.
Yourself, very heavy upon your heart. You the one that can't sleep.
Yeah.
They're sleeping fine, and you wonder why, because they ain't holding nothing.
Come on.
They know they did it.
Yeah, they know they did it. Oh, and I want to expound on that real quick. To say that you did something, I think a lot of us we don't want to take that type of accountability.
Yeah.
Because listen, and my wife knows this. She can look me in the face and say, "Well, Jeff, you did this." Now, sometimes I might forget something. Now, because we forget things sometimes. Sometimes you could be in an argument or something, and you might forget that you did something. That's fine. But when she say I did it and I know I did it, I look my wife dead in the face and say, "Yeah, I know I did it. I did that. I know. And I'll be like, "Well, what else do we need to talk about?
That's it.
Where else are we going with this?" And I'm not saying that to be an a-hole. I'm not saying that to be angry or to be upset or to be mad. It's girl, you funny.
What you gonna do? Not just
exactly. Because that's how most people will receive that. They'll receive that. Okay, well, what you gonna do next? No, I'm just like, well, I'm telling you, baby, like, look, you can give me my faults and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I do my best to surround myself with people outside of my wife already that can tell me things and be truthful.
That's it.
So if I ask, I say, like, for instance, even if I sense hesitation in somebody's voice, I say, well, just be honest. That's why I asked. Just be honest. Because I asked for it. I wanted it. If I didn't want it, I would have never asked in the first place.
Yeah.
So, I had to expound on that real quick. Because, that whole, I did it. Yeah. Yo, that's a different level of you knowing thyself.
That's it. That's
a different level of you knowing who you are. And then what it does is it forces the person to see how they react to what you've done, because now you're showing them that you have to work on you internally.
Yeah.
You've already admitted the fault to God and the person.
Yeah.
The third step is you changing that situation so you can be better.
That's it. It's a reflection of yourself. It's going to definitely show you your maturity level, where you are. A lot of us think we're grown up, and I believe we have, as far as age wise, but are you grown up right? Like, have you grown upright? There's a way in which, and so just because you're grown, don't make it upright. Yeah. One thing about grown-ups, they do what they supposed to. Children do what they want. Yeah, whatever. I do what I want. I love that South Park. That South Park episode. Whatever. I do what I want. That's a child.
Yeah.
That's a child. But when you think like, an adult, when you put away the childish man, the childish mentalities, they're toys. And you put away those type of ideas. Yeah. You can take responsibility. You can take accountability. And those are two different things. You could take both of those and I'll make the change. I'll step back. I'll make the change. I didn't even some things that we do, we don't even realize we do it.
Oh, yeah.
We don't even realize we're doing it. Like, dang, I didn't even know that was me like that. I did that.
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
Jesus,
honestly, you ain't lying.
Jesus Christ. But again, the other person is there for a reflection piece. The other person is there not for you to point out anything that they've done, but everything that you're doing, everything that they bring out of you that needs to change, that is really unlike God.
And I can, yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly, because I'm telling you, there are some things that I've noticed about myself. I've noticed that I'm able to get pushed to certain limits that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes when you suppress things, you understand why you suppress things, because normally you have a way of dealing with something. You have your own process with how you might deal with anger.
Yeah.
Or how you might deal with you being overly excited about jumping into a certain project.
Yeah.
Or how you might express discomfort for something. You know, that could be with an attitude.
Yeah.
You know, I'm learning that I can be pushed to these certain limits, but a lot of these limits I'm realizing I wasn't pushed to because a lot wasn't said. So I'm noticing that when somebody shares, when people share things with you, it is the truth about how they feel about you in particular.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to develop the thick skin.
Yeah.
And because that's hard. That's hard for all of us, each and every one of us, and myself included in the mix. When somebody gives you the truth about you, it's you like, okay, well, why did you say that?
Yeah.
Like, do you really feel?
Yeah.
How like what level of discontent or discomfort do you really have towards me?
Yeah.
And we have to remember that if a person really wanted to leave, they wouldn't be there anyway.
No, you got to teach.
So that's one thing too. Like we talked about that devotion in the beginning, you know, God does teach us that devotion. He's devoted to us as long as we stay devoted to him. And the thing is, I feel that that's how it is with people. If we have to pay attention to the fact that somebody is there.
That I was going to go there.
That's what we have to pay attention to. Go ahead and elaborate. I'll let you elaborate. I
was going to go there next, because that's the thing. Like you're so used to the way in which you deal with something in particular, but that's that gym mentality. That's you and a coach in the gym mentality. Now you take it further, and so now you're in a game. You're in an arena. Hey, it's not just you. So those things that are going on in your mindset, I'm supposed to be a person that you're able to say that to comfortably.
Okay.
You know, fearfully, and in truth. And it's like, that's the difference. Like, communication is relationship. It equals it. It equates it.
Facts.
It's exactly that. They're interchangeable terms. And so I need you to communicate exactly what's going on. I know you're not used to it because you're in a gym.
Exactly.
You're in the gym. You're in your head. And so this is a place, this is an arena, this is an environment, especially for women, that we're environment. Our job is to recreate a space of peace, a space of calm, a space of freedom, and liberation for our kings to be able to express themselves to us, so we know how to move. Like, if I don't know how to move if you're not saying anything. I don't know anything unless you're saying anything.
Exactly.
You know, you can't expect me to be a mind reader, or you should just know. No, you should just say. Don't just expect me. Don't expect me to know anything. You should just simply say, because I want to know. I want to know. I'm invested. I'm interested. And I want to make sure whatever it is in your mind, you either have some form of peace or calm about. We could talk about, we can make sure, you know, everything is cool and everything is good. And I truly desire for you to have the grandest of days.
Facts. I hear you. and what Mary is trying to say, you all, with that piece of creating a space, you know, she's not, you can just listen to what she's saying. She didn't say you have to be his piece.
No.
So I want y'all to understand that, lady. She didn't say you have to be his piece. Yes, God is his piece.
Hey.
God is my piece. I'm going to tell you something. I tell my wife all the time, look, I trust in the Lord with all my heart, lean not unto my own understanding, pertaining to you.
That's it.
And about you.
That's it.
I lean on God with that.
That's it.
So I said, when it comes to it, you got to understand, when I see something or I observe something, it's coming from a place of what God allowed me to see, and I'm recognizing what he's allowing me to see about you.
Yeah.
Whatever you choose to withhold, that's on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can't, but I can navigate around what I see.
Yep.
So I do that the best way that I can possible. And yeah, when she was truthful them first few times, like, yeah, I'm gonna just be honest. I love my wife to death.
Shout out to me.
Y'all know I love Megan, but I'm gonna just be truthful, because she had told me that she can be. She just says some things and blurts out how she feels.
Yeah.
And I had to realize that I can do that too sometimes.
Yeah.
But when I do it, what happens is I think about it, but my delivery can just be a little harsh. I guess my thing is, y'all listen, I've been living like this for so long, people. It's like when you old and you just been doing something for so long and now you got to change it.
That's it.
That's all it is.
That's it.
So I'm trying to recognize more when I do it. So I brought up her to say this. So the same feeling that I had with, I had to realize this, the same feeling that I had with saying, okay, you came off, I felt this way, or blah, 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 blah. She feels the same exact way, but there's two ways we did it.
Gotcha.
She just came out and said information. I was like, dang, you didn't think about how brother might have been feeling at the moment. Hey, big dog, I feel you. So let me go on my corner and process this and figure out what I got to do with it real quick. So I might have felt bad in that situation, but she felt the exact same way because of my delivery.
Gotcha.
So we feel the same exact way.
Mm-hmm.
We just have two different styles of how we communicate.
Yeah.
So then I say all of this to say, people, it becomes what helps me through it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to let y'all know this. What helps me through it is that it becomes a way of listening to what's being said.
Yeah.
So now I have to remove the emotion out of it, my own perception. So now, thirdly, I can make way for what she is really asking for and what she wants, rather than me trying to clear the path in my mind to perceive something that's not even there.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to say something else, but I forgot we on the radio on this Sunday. That stuff is tough. It's tough. It's heavy. It's heavy. Like, how do you feel about that,
Man,
yo?
coming out, I mean, well, you just ended it again. It's imagination. It's all these imaginative things that we're bringing into the relationship, and then feelings. And so you grow back to his way of loving is in spirit and in truth. It is not in flesh and feelings. And that the moment you say, I feel like, gotcha. That's when you know exactly where you are, where your functioning is coming from, and where it's stemming from. And in that moment, catch yourself. Catch yourself, because you shouldn't be in your feelings. Your feelings lead to a clouded judgment. You cannot even think straight in your feelings. You have to be in his spirit and in his truth. And I have to PSA before we get out of here, especially when we're talking about relationships. Queens, stop choosing.
Ooh, say that again. Can you say that one more time, please?
I have to.
Oh, Jesus.
I have to.
Let them know.
I have to. Queens, stop choosing.
Yes.
You cannot choose you. You cannot choose you to marry you. You cannot allow yourself to be chosen. Put or place yourself in position mentally to be chosen.
Come on.
And where you place yourself to be chosen is gonna be key. Are you found in the mall kiosks? Are you found in Jared's on the front parts of the display, or are you in the back? Are you part of a private sale? Like you got to go to Jacob to get me.
Come on down.
You got to go through Jacob to get me.
She works out here.
He gonna come to you with a whole case like, all right, so we got that SelenaKay. we got that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you want these cute, but we do got that SelenaKay, you know. Better than the Leo Diamond, okay? But stop choosing. And that was one thing, even again, you have all the wisdom in the world. And up until now, like, I finally understand the benefit of not choosing a man and allowing myself to be his choice. You know, it's a different type of love that comes with that. It's a different type of, it's one that you could never imagine, and it's one that's not imaginative. Like, if Disney couldn't even write this one up. You know, like, this is one that's not fueled with feelings and emotions and everything that we make up in our heads. And that's what we were talking about earlier, about hold on to the true identity of love, but not the imaginations of it. So just PSA, Queens, stop choosing men. And another thing with that too, what I love about, you know, what this anew has brought for me, is that when you're choosing a man, you start wanting or desiring to do things to impress them.
Yes.
So you're no longer yourself.
You're no longer yourself.
You're no longer yourself. Whereas where somebody you ain't even looking at you, and you just are afforded the opportunity, the rare opportunity to just be.
Because you know what? Can I say something to that real quick? Because you know what's tough is with men, a lot of times we are the ones that have to impress first. You know, we have to go ahead. We have to take the woman out to a certain place, or some women have. A real woman really doesn't have. I'm talking about a real woman who's mature. A mature woman does not worry about the type of car you drive. She just see that you're doing it. I ain't saying, homie, that you got to pick up in an old beat up bitch. I ain't saying that. Now, if that's all you got, big dog.
Do it.
And that's what you working with.
Do it.
Do you?
I'm in there.
And be strong in the game.
I'm in there. I'm
and make sure that she understands that you have these strong qualities about you that aren't defined by the vehicle.
Teaching.
Because people always go ahead. It's the outward appearance first, but we need to start focusing on that inward first instead of the outward.
Yeah, man.
So if that's what you got, big dog, do it.
Yeah.
But you know, we always have to be the ones to impress first.
Yeah.
So what happens is with the women choosing, we see that, oh, well, you could do this, that, the third, blah, 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 blah. For men, what we really want to know is that, can you handle me? Can you handle the real version of me?
That's it.
Because once all of the glitz, the glamour of us going out to eat, movies, maybe a trip or two.
Come on.
I might give you one. I ain't saying I'm holding.
We'll take it, Queens.
Take it, but I to be honest, I didn't give my wife a trip.
Shout out to the real G's.
Shout out to the real G. I didn't give her a trip. I wanted to, but I didn't. But that's the thing, though. So it's like after all that's said and done, and you look at that man in life, are you able to deal with his hangups, how he is truly at heart? Now, a lot of times, since women don't have to do that, what that allows you all to do is be yourself.
Yeah.
So then we have to work through the emotional versions of you. Yeah. And what I mean by is, I'm not saying that a woman is being too emotional. Hear me, women. We just have to work on that emotional part, the way you all balance and level out the way you think and the way you talk. And I say the way you talk because sometimes that could be an attitude. These are all things that men have to adjust to.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it real. So that's what we look for.
Yeah.
So that does really cloud the judgment of a man and your capabilities to do all of those things if you're trying to impress me.
That's it.
100% of the time, I don't need no woman to impress.
That's it, my king.
I don't want a woman. I don't want a woman to impress.
No.
Me. For me, it don't matter what she got.
Yeah.
Because I know what I got and I know what I can do and what I can bring to the table. So trust what I got and what I can bring to the table to help us sustain and keep us afloat.
That's it.
Now, whether or not you trust that, that's something you got to work on.
Yeah. That's still yours. That's still your baby.
That's still your baby.
That's still your baby.
But on this side, I'm confident in who I am as a man to say, look, I got this.
Yeah.
Look, this will get handled. Okay, if we got to struggle here, A, B, C, X, Y, and Z, if I ain't got it and you ain't got it, I can look at you and say, fret not, because I trust God.
That's it.
But can you look at me and say, okay, he's saying fret not. You know what? God does say this. Can you trust that?
Yeah.
Do you trust the fact that it's that man speaking or God speaking?
Yeah, man.
But when he tells you that's coming from God, do you trust that too?
Yeah.
Because the fruit will show itself at the end of
it. has to.
All the time. But that's what I wanted to talk about just briefly for women choosing. Don't do that because it clouds our judgment in terms of seeing who the true you is.
That's it.
So then we have to make an assessment to see if you can handle us. Now, maybe women, if y'all would stop the requirements.
Oh, King, I was going to talk about that.
Go ahead. I'm
going to talk about that.
Go ahead.
You got it. Listen, that whole list, Queens, that whole list, garbage, throw it in the garbage. Like the more you kind of grow through the checklist, and the more you mature, some of those things you just start letting it fall off anyway. But
there you go.
Superficial checklists, that's just what they are. They're super.
That's what it is.
They're not real, you know. And the last on my checklist, was age. I was adamant about age. I was not playing about that. Like it was just, and God, I'm about to get you. I'm about to get you.
Got him.
I'm about to get you. Because again, all of those factors don't factor in love.
Mm-hmm.
They don't factor in love.
That's true.
They don't factor in love.
Very
you'll mess around and miss out on a grand king, Queens, with that superficial checklist, with all this stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with somebody bending their will your way. Do you know what it takes for somebody to bend their will? mean, how difficult is it for you to bend your will God's way? Let's just be 100.
Y'all don't
So for
understand.
somebody
It's hard.
to bend their will your way, and you got the nerve to take that for granted, like just people coming every single day, like I choose you, I choose you. Ain't nobody doing that every single day. And I'm talking about the real you, the not the you represent to society. I'm talking about the you that, you know, to wake up and you ain't truly wake up like this. You wake up like that. like that, and they're still willing to love you, willing to be there.
Willing to be there. Come on, Jesus.
To be there.
Oh,
yo,
she preaching right now.
Yo, get that list out of here. You gotta seriously release your inhibitions. You have to let all that stuff grow in order to allow somebody first for your heart to be open. And vulnerability is key here. Yeah. You have got to be willing to be vulnerable. You are going to hurt yourself.
Facts.
You're going to not somebody hurting you. Hear me when I say, hear ye, hear me. You are going to hurt yourself. You're practicing. A lot of you when you cooking and you're learning how to cook, you cut yourself a lot. You burn yourself a lot. I still got some war rooms. I knew how to cook grits. That grits pop.
Come on, hey.
Got me, you know.
Wow.
But you're going to hurt yourself until you get a handle on yourself.
Come on.
But get rid of that list, man. That list, it'll never be the true measure of a man. It'll never be the true measure of a man. And the same for men. Get rid of the superficial list, all of the, you know, things that you desire for a woman to be. Let me tell you something. As people, as God's people, our job is to cultivate. And so before man came into the picture, you know, Adam was given the law to cultivate, to dominate, to cultivate and bring about the overall grand result of everything within his jurisdiction, everything that was under his authority. So if you're now under his authority, king, if you want a particular look physically of her, take her to the gym. Feed her right.
Okay.
Go buy the clothes that you want to put her on.
Be the example.
And then just like God did, represent her to yourself as a gift.
Now that's a
take her.
Somebody can take this the wrong
build
way.
her, cultivate her. You know what I mean? And then you take her and represent her as the gift she is back to yourself, man.
We
back to yourself.
I'm looking at my phone. Somebody ain't gonna like that.
Listen, they probably won't, but that's all right. Still learn. Listen, well, let me say, the truth will set you free, but first it's gonna pee you off. It's gonna do that because you know it's truth, but it will set you free, yo. It'll set you free.
Exactly.
Man, King, final thoughts before we get out of here.
Final thoughts, y'all. Like we said, man, just don't pay attention to the fantasy part of it. Just be true to yourself. And if
bless you, my king.
Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. But if you stay true to yourself, you'll be true in everything. And then that gives a person the correct assessment of you. Yeah, man. To know what they can and can't handle. And if they depart, if they leave, if they continue, you know, either way is good.
Yeah, man. I love that. Real quick, shout out to Landscape and Luch again. Shout out to Doris, Miss Doris. We got my Ma in the building, Tony and Jaquez. Hey, boo. Hey, I love you, Queen. Hey, Miss Marilyn. Thank you for tapping in, tuning in. Shout out to Daryl Performance in the building, King. Hey, he's still looking for vendors. He got a show coming up this weekend. Shout out to him. Yo, you want a vendor spot? Hit him up on Facebook. Daryl Perform Man's in the building. One of the dopest comedians and legends of our time. And then final thoughts, man, the idea of relationship versus our imagination. Yo, stop chasing out after the imaginations of your own heart. Stop acting like somebody is something other than what they are. Stop acting like you're something other than who you are. You know, stop imagining things and making this stuff all up in your head, because that's what it is. It's all makeup. It's all make believe. And especially with women, you know, as children, we are playing with Barbie dolls. We making up our whole life. Like the whole time we have dolls and stuff making up what we want our life to look like and be and how it's supposed to and we have no true idea what it is that we're talking about. We're just going off of what we see or what we believe to be true. But God has an idea.
Yes.
Get back to his original idea of relationship, his original idea of marriage, of friendship. Most important. If I can't stress anything, I'm currently in the midst of writing From Theory to Lab to Life, Rock Truth Friendship. Never forget to be a friend. And as I'm growing with that book, don't forget to be a friend. Like, seriously, man, it's supposed to be your friend. Like, you wouldn't treat your friends like this, would you?
Yeah.
Would you? So get back to those things. Master singleness, all of it comes from a STEM. Get to know who you are. Get a degree in you. Become whole, one, and complete as a person. 99.5 will not do, seriously. It will not do. You have to come 100. This is one test where only 100s are allowed. Only 100s are allowed. Yeah. There's no grading curve when it comes to love because we've been equipped to love perfectly. We're not perfect people, but we are equipped to love perfectly. So take some of these gems, man, and apply it to your grand anew today.
Yes.
Today, shout out again to our sponsors. Shout out to Healthy in Space again. They are open Monday through Saturday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Get your herbs, CMOS, tinctures, skincare, vitamins, and more. You mentioned Rock Truth Radio, SelenaKay. Get 10% off anything in the store, as well as their daily specials that they have Monday through Saturday as well. And then last but not least, shout out to Delicious Designs, Miss Della. We have an event that we will be at this Saturday at 12 p.m. I am the host, SelenaKay. Look for us. It's a total vibe, man, out here real quick.
Calling all shoppers, foodies, and music lovers. Delicious Designs is hosting an amazing spring fling in the G-Vendor Showcase on Saturday, April 20th from 12 until 6 p.m. Come on out to 3637 Grand Street in Gary to support local businesses and experience a day of fun and excitement with music by DJ Flex Luger, hosted by Rock Truth Radio, sponsored by Big Time Clothing. Saturday, April 20th at the G-Vendor Showcase, 3637 Grand Street in Gary, presented by Delicious Designs. Come on out for a day of fun and excitement.
All right, guys, we thank you guys for tuning in with us. Catch us next week. Next week, same time, same places. We rock truth. Absolutely nothing at all. Peace.